Well, hello, everyone. This is Tracie L. James, your business growth strategist. And guess what? I am back. That's right. I am back yet again with another amazing female entrepreneur. And let me tell you, this woman that I am bringing to the stage is absolutely amazing. Truly a woman who is resilient, strong, determined, but at the same time, she is truly a woman, all right? She doesn't have a problem showing you that fragile, transparent side of herself, but at the same time, you see her resilience, all right? It has truly been built through all of the things she's been through. And I am blessed to call her my friend, my sister, my love, the one and only founder of the LSherie Alert. That's right. I am talking about LSherie Dean. That's right. She is here with me today. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Oh, thank you so much. That was so awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. Thank you.
You are so welcome. And this is the thing. I don't like reading bios. You can read that.
Cool.
Her bio will be down there, okay? It'll be below the video. It'll be on her website, okay? But what I want you to get is the essence of who these women are and why I felt it was important to share them with you, okay? And one of the reasons, I think it's amazing to me, like when I think about, I vaguely recall when we first met, and it was like we had never not known each other. That's how I felt about you. I know it was at some event in downtown Jackson, Mississippi. That's right.
Yes.
And
Yes.
there was just something about you that just was just glowing, just your whole energy, your whole spirit. And from that point forward, it was just like, LSherie's my girl. That's my girl. That's right.
And that's funny because like the people that I'm closest to, I cannot recall when we first met. And like I said, I guess it was in, downtown Jackson at some event because, we was always at an event. And I mean, it was likewise like the same kind of attraction to you. Like I was like, oh my gosh, she's so cool. And I just felt like you were just this amazing being that was just, I think what captured me most about you and meeting you, where you are unapologetically Tracie and you have your own way of doing things. You don't set your tone by anyone else's. And it was a breath of fresh air. You and a couple other women, like it was like a breath of fresh air in just trying to find women that I can model after or women that I can go to for advice. Like you were one of those. I was just like, yep, that's it. I'm gonna have to stay close to her. I was like, she's just freaking awesome.
Well, I think during that time for me, it was a freeing time for me because I was post-divorce and rebuilding my life. And as a part of that process, it truly was dropping all of the stuff where I was being a people pleaser. And I think in some ways I really got over the top with just being me. And then it got comfortable and it was just like, yeah, this is just me. This is just it. I'm loud. I'm opinionated. I like big hair and bright colors and heels and, I want the highest heels possible. So in that space of that time frame, I think there was an energy that was happening in the city of Jackson where there was such a push for, new energy, new ideas, new things coming into the city. And when you first stepped out with the LSherie Alert, it was one of those things where it kind of happened by happenstance in some ways, but okay.
Did.
You know what? I got ahead of myself, y'all. I got ahead of myself. So I'm gonna rewind just a little bit. And we're gonna come back to that question. Because you all know I have my favorite question because it tells so much about the person themselves. And I want you to share who you are, and why you do what you do at the LSherie Alert.
Okay. So I'm just a normal person that sees, I feel like I have the ability to see greatness in folks, and I want to draw it out because good stuff, good people, um, being able to share gifts and talents of other folks, it's like a magnet to me. I can feel it. And I've talked to people in the past where they were like, I haven't even done that much. I'm like, man, I promise you, you're gonna be so dope. You're gonna be so dope. I just feel it. I feel it. I don't know if it's in just seeing them move around or how they produce a product, or even if they're not sure how to do it. It's just something about people that I gravitate to. And I won't say it's everybody, but but when I feel that push, like they don't know how to get it out, it's like something in me is like, okay, you need to help them get there. And it's so crazy, and we could talk about that probably later, how I need to be able to do that for myself. But it's so easy for me to see that glow in other people, and it's like I gravitate towards it, and I just want to help them blossom. um Moving here in 2000, the end of 2003, 2004, was a different experience for me. And being on the campus of the Jackson State University was very different for me. And I think that's where I felt like I was at the mecca of dreams, the mecca of possibilities. There was so much talent just on the campus. And I did not understand why people weren't collaborating, why people weren't connecting and doing things together. And I just had this instinct to pull folks together. Not really even trying. I was doing it before the LSherie Alert even came about, and just trying to bring people together. But that's just who I am. I love bringing people together. I love working with people and helping them realize their purpose, helping them realize the things that they're capable of. Because a lot of times, maybe if I put it like this, I'm everybody's biggest cheerleader. At least I feel like it, because I'm the hype man. The LSherie Alert is your personal hype man, because I want to be able to really push you. And sometimes we need people, whether we know them or not personally, to help push a brand, help push us into that next level, because sometimes we get content. And so I feel like that's who I am. I'm just an authentic person who truly believes in originality. I believe in self-awareness. I believe in just doing what we need to do. That, we're all on this earth for a reason. My slogan is, my motto, or whatever you want to call it, is you don't have to be famous to be relevant, because we're here. You're already relevant. You're here, and you're here to do something. And for whatever reason, I just thought of Cicely Tyson, but you're here to do something. And, that dash in your lifetime is very important. And I think I'm the hype man to help you figure out what's supposed to happen in that dash, to really make an impact on the world.
And let me tell y'all something. She is an amazing hype man. This girl is an amazing cheerleader. And, I've seen some of the people you've worked with who have gone on to major levels of success. And I remember you working with them. And because of you, I knew who they were before the world knew who they were.
Oh, wow.
People like Sterling and Jay Bolin and Chanel Renee. I didn't know who these people were, but being around you, being connected to you, going to these events, following you on social media, seeing you share these people and the things that they were doing, it opened my eyes. And I was like, wow, all of this is going on in Jackson? For real.
Right here in Jackson.
Right here in Jackson. Because when I moved back, I was trying to leave as quickly as I could. I wanted to get divorced, get my money right, and then I was trying to head somewhere else. And, you know, you were actually one of the reasons I actually stayed in Mississippi as long as I did. Wow. And a very small group of folks.
Yeah,
you know,
I know.
you were part of that group, and it was what was the group we were in? Jackson Progressives, was that it?
Yeah. Oh God, I almost forgot about that.
Yeah, and then Mississippi Women with Queen.
With Queen.
Yeah, those were the things that drew me into my city, my hometown, in a way I had never been there. And the amazing thing was that there were people, so many of the people in that group, in that network, weren't from Mississippi. Yeah, but they had a love for the city, for the state, and they actually helped me to see my city in a different way. And so when I think about that whole thing of, you know, being that cheerleader, being that person that puts the spotlight on the positivity that's happening in the world, especially with all the negative stuff that's around us, you are kind of that shining light. And so let me ask you this: with all the different people you've worked with, all the different projects that you've been involved with, what are the ones that really stand out as the, like, you know, you mentioned Cicely Tyson, you know, she was iconic, and there are key things in her life that stand out as accomplishments for her. What about yours? What events, people really stand out that you feel proud of being a part of?
Oh, I got a couple of those. And it's funny that you asked that, because I was asked that question I want to say a couple of months ago, and I did not know how to answer it, because I really hadn't sat and thought about things that I've actually done. And so when people are reminding me, I'm like, dang, oh, I guess so. But I'm just in this mode of you know, I'm on a mission to help people and to shine light on folks. And doing so, I forget about myself. And I probably probably a whole nother but what I am very proud of is stepping out my own box. A lot of people do not realize that a lot of stuff that I've done and that I'm actually doing right now is not comfortable for me. The fact that somebody else is interviewing me and I'm not interviewing them is weird to me. But at the same time, it is pushing me to another level. So in order for me to grow, I have to sometimes step out of that comfort zone. So one of the things that I did that freaked me out was the TLSA Net Socials. And I don't know if you remember those, but that was so much fun. It was a lot of work to put those together, but I did it in a way that I was pulling Jacksonians together. And it was, again, to promote, you know, positive media, but also to showcase what we have right here in the city of Jackson. People are going to all these other states to find folks to do this, and that. You literally have these people in the city up the street from where you live to be able to do the same things, if not better. We don't give ourselves enough credit. And so those net socials, and net social meaning networking, but socializing, like true networking, because that has always been my platform. Like even when I was at Jackson State, that was my platform, networking. Who you know, not necessarily all of what you know. And so some of the key things that I recall over the 8 years of doing the LSherie Alert was the net socials, but also, and what that brought, it brought about a lot of people building business relationships, which I'm very proud of. And some of them are still going strong to this day. And I'm just like, wow, that's dope. And then some of the people that I got a chance to interview, Sir the Baptist, and I talk about him all the time because I met him through Asia Kareen. I interviewed her. She was at the time a fashion stylist out of Chicago. I still don't remember how we got connected. I interviewed her. She loved it. After talking with her, she connected me with Sir the Baptist. And We end up meeting about a year after the interview in Chicago, and we became great friends after that. I can call him now and be like, dude, I don't know what to do with this. And he like, Cherie, you need to do this, do that. But he wasn't huge then. Now he's like Sir the Baptist. And I'm like, dang, I actually know Sir the Baptist, you know. And I got a chance to interview him and tell people about him. And a lot of folks would tell me, yeah, I didn't know about him until you interviewed him in like 2013. And I'm like, wow. So it's people like that. People like if you like raw rap, Dave East. He won. He was one of the first people to win my indie music challenges when I used to do that. I don't sing, I don't rap, but I love music and I love indie artists. I don't think a lot of them get enough attention. And so I do love listening to music and trying to help some of these artists who really have some dope potential to get out there. And one of them is now a close friend of mine, Dear Silas. So, I mean, and he's right out of Jackson. So there's so many different people like Jay Bolin, Sterling, Chanel Renee. I've got a chance to work with these people and interview them and put them out in the open and share their dreams and their passions and stuff and connect. That's the biggest thing. I connected people with them. And to this day, like there's a chef that I interviewed and I talked to him after our interview or whatever. I said, look, I got people I need you to meet. I know folks, because he's trying to get on television. He's trying to do shows. He's trying to do this, that, and other. I already know folks have done that. Nick Wallace. You know, so I mean, I use those connections. I need you to connect with this person. And these people that did not know me from Adam are now friends. I have built a network of people who are, I'm sorry, I don't know what just happened. I've built a network of people who are just basically trying to build and help each other. I don't know what's going on. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. It's just been a great opportunity to share what people are doing, to share what greatness we have in us. And the biggest thing is the testimonials behind it, because a lot of people, maybe even people like me, they're talking to me a lot of times and don't even know it. Them sharing their stories, the process, and everything they went through just to get to where they are today. That's that big dash for me, because not only does it show me, okay, you can keep doing this, you can keep moving, you got to go through the process, but it's also showing that person who may be watching or even reading the articles and say, dang, I thought you had to have all your ducks in a row first. No, it doesn't work like that. It's not as glamorous as some people think starting off. And so I love to show that side of it, because I want people to realize the work that it takes to get to whatever level you're trying to reach. There's a process. And so in interviewing these people and sharing their stories, it's almost like sharing their testimonies to help someone else come out of that box, like me, if that makes sense. So yeah, there's been quite a bit of different things that has happened. Last year, I actually won the 2020, out of everything that was going on in 2020. I actually won an award for social media influencer for the state of Mississippi, which was funny to me, because I was like, here I am thinking nobody's paying attention. And apparently everybody's paying attention. A lot of people paying attention. So I need to step up. I need to do more. But those things, while those are great, and a lot of times you're hard on yourself. So while those things are great being recognized, you know, I've won third place for Best of Jackson before when I first started out. But in other awards, I've got to work with the Evers family, handling their social media for the 50th commemoration of Medgar Evers' death. That was a very amazing experience, spending time with people like Vivian, who was um, a civil rights pioneer who passed away a few years ago. Just amazing being. He was amazing being, and being around those people who protested at the, what is it, the Woolworth that was downtown, hanging out with them while they tell me stories about Medgar Evers, or holding Rena Everett's hands while she talks about that night her father was shot, while we're standing in her bedroom. It just different things like that really helped me realize that what I'm doing means something, and that my work is not in vain. Because in doing what I do and not looking for negative stuff, but pulling the positive out of certain situations, or at least trying to out of every situation, has brought me closer to people I never in a million years would have thought I would have a relationship with. So while I feel like there's a lot I should be doing and that I could be doing, I if I really sit back and think about it, I actually have accomplished some really cool things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think the great thing about what you do is that fact that you have the vision to look for the positive, even in the midst of all the crazy and the negative and all of that. You stepped outside your comfort zone, because I know having that camera in your face right now is not what you enjoy doing. She don't like to do this job. I'm telling you, she don't. So
I'll do radio.
When she stepped out and began to start to live broadcast and do live interviews, I knew she was pushing herself outside her comfort zone, and I have watched you flourish. The longer you've done it, the better you get at it. And I know 2 seconds before you put that camera in your face, you're like, okay, Lord.
I really do.
Yes.
Take a deep
I
breath,
know.
roll my eyes.
And for those of you who are listening, you watching, and you're like, well, I just gotta wait till I get comfortable. You're not going to. I said, because I'm as comfortable as I am speaking on a stage, the idea of standing in front of a camera and doing a live stream spontaneously, I was petrified.
Yeah.
And I still have a moment right before I hit the live button where my body goes, don't you do this. But I have to press through that. So whatever it is that causes you to freeze up and like, don't do it, press through it. Press through it. As long as it's legal. Because I know some of y'all be thinking about, your conscience be telling you not to do that stuff because it's illegal. It's going to get you in trouble.
If it's not legal, I mean, don't do it. If it's going to, hurt you in the long run, don't do it. But I think, and that's a really valid point, because honestly, like the Sunday special that was started last April-ish, I think, I was forced to do that. And again, like you said, I don't know I'm awkward in front of the camera. I'm taking pictures. I can't do that. You just got to
take gorgeous pictures. What are you talking about?
I don't pose. I cannot pose. Ask Sterling. Sterling just be like, this girl is crazy, because I'm just standing there looking crazy, and he'll just start talking to me and snapping pictures and be like, all right, we done. And I'm like, but I didn't do anything. Oh, you did. I got tons of pictures. So I thank God for his amazing gift, because otherwise them pictures be like this, because I don't know what I'm doing. So it's really cool to have people that help you, to push you out of your comfort zone, to help you get to another level. And look, if you don't have a circle of friends who are not pushing you and not encouraging you, then you need to walk out that circle, because they don't want to see you flourish. They don't want to see you succeed. And I have to have people, and not necessarily just be a hype man, tell me when I'm doing stuff wrong too, but definitely need people who are going to encourage you and push you to get to that next level. Staying constant, being consistent is good when you're putting out content and all that stuff, taking some risk or whatever, but just staying in that stagnant place is not good. And I would honestly say that's where I've been for a while. Before the Sunday specials popped out of nowhere, literally, because there was no promo for it or nothing. Only like 30 minutes before, because I was literally forced to do it. Before that, there was just stagnant. It's like, okay, we know it's there, but nothing's really going on. And that has to do with, all the other stuff that was going on in my life too. And so one of the biggest things that I've learned also during that time is it's okay to take time to rethink, regroup, you know, and reinvest in yourself before you can go out and do something else, or it's just not going to be authentic. Because like I said earlier, it's one thing that I don't like is the fakeness of trying to just forcefully put stuff out. People can see that. People know when you're not real. People know when you're not genuine. And it just doesn't feel right. I want to be able to always relate to people and be able to come down to earth and say, okay, look, I'm not perfect. I'm still learning as well. So it takes a lot to do all of that. But I think what's really good is just having those people around you that can help push you, and realizing that if you want to be greater, you got to take some risk. You got to step out that box. So I mean, like you said, with me doing those, being in front of the camera more frequently and continuing to do it, you get better. So you'll never be ready if you're just sitting there thinking, let me wait till next year when I think my confidence level is up. No, it's not going to happen. You're not going to ever do it. So, I mean, and as honestly, the more I get in front of the camera, the less fear I have of it, which is going to prepare me for something bigger. So,
Right.
You just kind of have to put yourself out there.
Absolutely. And one of the reasons that I say that this woman is resilient is because in the midst of building business, building networks, and being that cheerleader, she became a mom. And we're not going to go too deep into that story because that's a whole nother world over there. And it's going to be coming out in the book. Yes. Yeah, that's, I didn't tell you that. Oh, I forgot. See, I'm on her front row, and sometimes your front row can tell you what you need
what
to
you
do.
Gonna do.
What you gonna do. They'll volunteer you. But she has such an amazing story about her and her baby girl, my lovely Miss Demi J. So can you tell us about that struggle to bring Demi into the world, and how you had to overcome that in the midst of handling your business too?
Yes. So I feel like sometimes I'm two sides of a coin. Not like I'm two-faced, but one side of me is this bubbly, go get it. I am that empower pusher, all that stuff for everybody else. On the other side of the coin, I am sure you could be doing better on this. You're not this, you don't have this together, you don't have that together. That's not saved up. This is wrong. Why are you doing this? You still doing the same thing you were doing 2-3 years ago, and it's not got you anywhere, So I down myself, and I'm trying to do better with not doing that, because that does not help you. It's one thing to recognize your downfalls or recognize your the things that you can improve. It's another thing to criticize yourself to a point where you just feel like you're nothing. And I literally became at that stage when I found out I was pregnant. It was not planned, so I was very upset with myself. I'm a goody two shoe. I'm not supposed to have kids before marriage, and that's what happened. And so I was very upset with myself, because I was about to have a child and honestly wasn't sure what I was going to do, because I didn't know how it was going to affect me, my image, as shallow as that sounds. I did not know how that was going to affect my image. I wasn't sure how that was going to affect me on my job, my 401k job. I didn't know just what to do. I didn't want people to look at me and be like, oh, I thought she had everything all together. Because weirdly enough, people think I'm borderline perfect. And I think that's crazy. Nowhere near it. I have a lot of faults. I do a lot of bad
None
things.
of us
And I
are
need to get
perfect
my life
at
together.
all.
I'm like, I feel like I'm in shambles sometimes.
We carry it better. It's about carrying it better. That's what it comes down to.
And my mom, the diva, she has always told me, you know, if you don't have a lot of money, you don't have to look like you don't have a lot of money. It's stuff out here. You can go thrifting, you can do this, you can do that, and still be presentable and carry yourself well. You don't always have to carry your story on your face. And so that always stuck with me. And but I don't do things like that in a way to be conceiving or deceiving. And I don't do it in a way to try to make myself look like I'm better than anybody else. It's just a way that I like to carry myself. I want to always carry myself as a reminder that I am blessed. And so, but during that time, I think I put so much stress on myself because of, you know, the fear of being criticized, the fear of what my family was going to think, the fear of how in the heck am I going to take care of kids? 33 years old, I'm grown, got benefits, a real job, everything, but still scared because I'm not married. So I think that stress, it was a lot of stress that I put on myself. And I ended up having a baby early. I got really sick, ended up having her 3 months early, and still like literally in the NICU, sitting with her every day in a NICU with an iPad, trying to work, trying to keep up the LSherie alert. And it was the hardest thing in life when all I wanted to do is to roll into a ball and scream and cry. I was going through postpartum depression and did not realize it. But that's when, if you really paid attention to the output or the production of the LSherie alert and how everything was constantly rolling out after the baby was born, if you were still paying attention, you could see this downward spiral where things just kind of got slower and slower and slower and slower. And that was a direct reflection of everything that I was going through. I was depressed, looking at this absolutely gorgeous being, this baby that was mine, that I'm still trying to figure out how she got here. And, you know, with being born 3 months early with nothing wrong with her, that's absolutely a blessing. And I'm looking at this gorgeous baby and still like, what am I supposed to do with this baby? And not realizing that I was going through postpartum. But yet I'm over here trying to uplift people. And it started going down because I couldn't uplift myself. I couldn't uplift anybody else. So I had to kind of slow it down and just I had to slow it down and just try to figure out what's my next step. But I had to deal with me first. And that was the biggest thing, dealing with me. And so that's why I said earlier, it's okay to take that time to deal with people. It's okay to do that. It's okay to take that time to better yourself. It's okay to take that time. I'm sorry. To
perfect timing.
Oh God. And here this little monster is now. It's
There's the beautiful Demi J. Hi, beautiful.
Blood inside of my toe.
See, she just hit her toe.
Oh,
it's okay.
Okay.
It's okay. All right. Okay, it's okay. It's all right. Go play. So, and just trying to be a good mom, figure out what that even means to be a good mom. Although I've had, gratefully, a wonderful example of being an amazing mom, and you know, having people around me who have said, "We got your back, regardless." And when I realized and accepted that, because I'm one of those who I can do everything on my own. But once I really accepted, it's okay to get help. It's okay to have help from people who genuinely want to show you love and help you take care of your responsibilities. Yes, they're your responsibilities, but these people are here to help you. Once I realized that and accepted that, I was able to really kind of step back into my own and started getting back onto social media and say, hey, I know I've been gone, but I'm coming back. I'm rebuilding myself. I'm rebuilding the business. I'm rebuilding the brand. And I'm coming back. And when I come back, it's going to be stronger than ever. But it took some time. She just turned 5 years old. So for really 3.5, 4 years, I was just stuck in this fog. How am I going to take care of a daughter, go to a full-time job, and have a business? Those are juggling acts, to say the least. And so I had to prioritize myself. I had to do a lot of planning. I had to take Saturday mornings, Friday nights, and get stuff written out and put together strategic plans and put stuff on calendars and figure out, okay, what's most important for this? What's most important for that? Strategize, reorganize, call a babysitter. It was so much that I had to do, and that I'm still doing in order to get to where I want to be. Because y'all, I'm not nowhere near where I want to be, and I can say that, and I feel like it's okay for me to say it, but I can be a little disappointed that I'm not necessarily where I want to be, but it's okay because this is my process, this is my journey, and everything that I've learned thus far, I would not change it because I have become a stronger woman, a greater mother, for all of these different things, these challenges that have popped up out of absolutely nowhere. I have become a greater person for that. And so it's, I don't know, it's really cool to be able to be a mother and have your own business and work too, because I can also show her that resilient side too. I'm teaching my daughter something. And as much as I hate to say it sometimes, she's definitely paying a lot of attention to me and wants to do some of the things that I'm doing. And she's showing it every day. And that makes me proud though, because she can do that. It makes me proud. So, I mean, I don't know. I think it's great being a mom. It's great being a mom. It's great owning a business, but it's a lot of work. A lot of work.
Absolutely. And, that's the deal. You become more resilient the more things you have to overcome, the more obstacles you have to push out of the way, and being a single mom, divorced, I've been, raised 2 sons, independently of each other. Anyway, that's a whole nother conversation for y'all at another day. But being able to do all of that and work full time and run a business and really be able to look back and say, there's been impact that I've been able to make. There are things that I can say, okay, God, you pushed me out here. I did it. I'm making these things happen. So I need you to strengthen me to keep moving forward. So you and I could talk for hours, and we do.
I know.
But just in bringing this interview to a close, what is one parting piece of advice you want to give the women entrepreneurs that are watching this?
Don't give up no matter how many times you have to restart yourself. And it's okay to restart. It's okay to go back to the drawing board. To me, all it is an abstract painting being perfected each time. So don't feel like you have to be perfect. Don't feel like you have to have all of your eggs in the basket or you have to have it all figured out, because you won't. But as time goes and as you grow with your business and in becoming a phenomenal female entrepreneur, businesswoman, future CEO. As you become those things, you will in turn gain unimaginable wisdom. You will be able to catapult yourself to things and places that you never thought you'd be able to experience. So just keep moving with the process. Be authentically you. Don't worry about what's going on to the left, what's going on to the right. Don't worry about, oh, well, they're doing the same thing I'm doing. No one can do you like you. Period. No one can do you like you. So if you truly want this, if you truly, because it's not for the faint of heart either. So if you truly want this, stick with it. Just stick with it and get people like Tracie to help guide you. Get people, look at your friend circle and see, how can they help you? Put yourself out there to network with people. Don't be afraid. Don't think you can handle it on your own. LSherie, I'm talking to you too. Don't think you can handle it on your own, but definitely don't quit. I came this close to quitting the LSherie Alert. This close to saying bye, doing a whole farewell video and everything. This close, because I did not think I had what it took. I did not think that I could do it anymore. And I began to look at what everybody else were doing and saying, I'm washed up, I'm washed out, I can't do it. Until somebody reminded me, you have lost your mind. You have something that no one else can ever create, and that's you and what you bring to the table. So don't ever forget that. Don't quit. Just keep moving.
Well, you know what? That's it, y'all. That's the trick to being a successful entrepreneur, is positioning yourself and not giving up. Even when that voice in your head says you crazy, I don't know why you're trying to do this.
Yes.
You have to just keep going. So listen, I want to thank LSherie for joining me and being a part of this interview today. If you want to connect with LSherie, her contact information is below this video. And I encourage you, connect yourself to the LSherie Alert, because amazing things are on the horizon. And I can't wait to see what she does next.
I got some stuff. I got some stuff that I'm working on, and we'll talk offline about that. But I got some stuff that I'm working on, and it's not even for this year. It's for 2022. So, yeah.
That's how it works being an entrepreneur, y'all. You work on this year and the next year, and you looking ahead.
And it's scary.
It is.
But I know I got to do it.
But you got to do it. But I know I got to do it. You will be successful in doing it. So thank you all for joining us today. And I look forward to seeing you again very, very soon. And as always, no matter what happens, just do it regardless. Zero excuses allowed. Take care. Love you much. Bye.